Susan Glasser is a veteran U.S. journalist, editor and co-author of 2005 book Kremlin Rising: Vladimir Putin's Russia, The End of Revolution. His work abroad included coverage of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, and for 4 years he led the Washington Post Moscow bureau. She is a staff writer columnist for New Yorker. And her husband, Peter Baker, wrote a 2022 book called The Divider: Trump in White House, which was highly critical of the former U.S. Glasser spoke with RFERL's Georgia service about evolution, Vladimir Putin's incrementalism to messianism, authoritarianism, history of Russian River, and Putin Ukraine war in context U.S. election. RFERL. The first questions and most of the questions will be about the man you worked with and reported to for years in Moscow. Are there any moments when it surprises you? Or is it something you didn't expect? Susan Glasser: I would say that we were very clearly warned before the full-scale invasion and full-scale invasion of Ukraine. I wouldn't say it was a surprise. But it's still a shocking decision. Especially because it's extremely risky. Some people previously viewed Vladimir Putin as incremental. Certainly aggressive. But careful. And you could say that the invasion of Ukraine was definitely not incremental. Except perhaps in some crazy logic. Consequences. At least in short term. This invasion Ukraine was to actually increase level repression and eliminate opportunities for opposition within Russian system. I think Putin surprised us all in the big picture. Let's not forget that 20 years ago, if we had had this conversation and said, well, Russia's longest-serving leader since Josef Stalin would invade not one but two of its neighbors, have an unlimited partnership with China as the definition of this alliance, it wasn't within the realm of possibility. So, in a big picture sense, I would say that Vladimir Putin has surprised us all. Actually, I think he seems to have become more clinging to his own personalized vision of power. Perhaps more messianic. Over the 20 years H has been in power. This is not surprising. This has happened in many dictatorships, but it seems that Putin now sees himself as a kind of heir to the tsars. RFERL. Is there some kind of thinking behind this? The cult of the leader is something that would grow to some extent in the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union is more clearly mold early leaders of Soviet Union, Lenins and Stalins, than in mold collective leadership later days. I always thought that he saw himself as successor to KGB leader Yury Andropov, one of last leaders of Soviet Union. RFERL. Are you able to achieve what Andropov cannot? Glasser: absolutely. Andropov too early and was succeeded by Mikhail Gorbachev, who was not Vladimir Putin's hero. RFERL. How much does Putin embody modern Russia? Did he mold the state into his? Or was it Russia that shaped it according to popular demand, or something like the popular feeling that Russia wanted to be? Glasser: why?